Hello, welcome to Arrows Gaming. If you're here because the title says find more primals, then you're in the right place. Just a quick rundown. Really the basics of it is you have a 1 in 400 chance for a legendary item drop to be a primal. So for you to maximize the amount of chances that you're going to get finding primals is to just get a ton of drops. You don't have to do this build. You can use whatever you want. After season 27, this build probably isn't going to be viable for what we're going for here, but just a quick rundown. I'm using the Shadow Impale set. Got basic setup here. I'm using the lightning skills, so basically it's the first ancient squirts I found that had that 20% lightning. I had to roll attack speed or something to get the socket. Warzeshian arm guards, lightning again. First ones I found that were ancient. I rolled the lightning to 17. It's fine. It'll be enough for what we're doing. And then I used the angelic crucibles, sanctify my quiver. Got lightning skills, do 20% more damage. Obsidian, because I'm using Ingeom and not Carlisle's point, so we're not gonna have Dawn in the cube. Dawn, of course, gives you this 65% cooldown reduction on Vengeance. Vengeance is important for damage and damage mitigation because you're gonna get a shield when that's up. So the Ingeom combined with Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac is gonna keep our Vengeance up 100%. The Stone of Jordan is giving us 20% more lightning damage. And then the Stone of Jordan for another Demon Hunter build, the Unhallowed Essence. You could see on the secondary skill you get plus 10 to maximum discipline, so that's going to increase your multi-shot damage as well. So it's a really good one for speed farming keys and bounties and all that. So don't sleep on a Stone of Jordan if you get one. Plus you get the increased damage against elites by 26%, which is also pretty significant since we're not running Bastion's Will, which is the focus and restraint set rings. Having that damage return is going to be helpful on making this build speedy. Using Pride's Fault, your resource costs are reduced by 30% after not taking damage for 5 seconds. So again, that's why you're going to need a little bit of that damage mitigation, but hopefully we're going to be killing stuff fast enough that we're not going to take a whole bunch of damage. Elusive Ring is going to help with that after casting Shadow Power, Smokescreen, or Vault. Takes 60% reduced damage for 8 seconds. So that's pretty much the setup I'm running. If you don't have Demon Hunter, just whatever you can do 90s as fast as you can. I'm actually going to switch to my Enchantress because I might as well get a bonus drop on gems. Before I get this going, just going to
see you soon.
Spin these shards real fast.
What a steal.
I'm overburdened.
Now a lot of people get a little bit superstitious about their primal drops, but they think that they get the most in Nephilim. They think they get the most from running vaults with puzzle rings. It really doesn't matter. I mean, over the long run, it's just going to be 1 out of 400 legendary drops will be a chance to be a primal. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to 90, which is going to give us the maximum amount of loot drops from Rift Guardians we can possibly get, and we're just going to run them as fast as we can.
Done.
So for this season, of course it's the Oryx one I'm not pushing.
Need more time.
So as you can see, got quite a bit of movement speed, not taking damage, managing. Well, just got hit by a bomb.
Still waiting.
With the Pride's Fall, again, it's going to help with your resource management. I'm running Blood Vengeance in my passives, so anytime I get health globes, it's returning a lot of my hatred. This build itself does quite a bit of damage, so if you're not managing your resources, you will be out of hatred, out of discipline, and just walking around super slow, doing 0 damage. So it's important to take a look at your passives. I guess we can go over the skills real quick once we get out of here. Get those orbs picked up. Again, I'm just
not ready yet.
Trying to avoid damage.
Not enough
Sweet
discipline.
revenge.
Swing back around here. There we go. Got a purple one.
I'm wounded.
Still waiting.
Now, power's
I
a nice
need
one to
more
pick up,
discipline.
especially when you're about to queue up the Rift Guardian. Got a leap on there.
Need more time.
Bleed, you filth.
And I am running Flavor of Time on my followers, so it is going to keep the pylon buffs up twice as long as it normally
Still
would.
waiting.
The Rift God.
So this one is a little bit slow than what's to be expected for this build. I'm mainly looking to replace my non-ancient squirts for my pushing build, and rings are very difficult to roll in general, so I'll always pick up any rings that drop. Now,
I am returning to town.
finish with Urshi here. Head back to town.
Your skill.
And we go right back in.
Enough.
So,
Not ready yet.
being efficient at clearing greater Rift level 90s is going to be the most important thing in farming gear. Now, beginning of the season, you're obviously not going to be able to do this as quickly, so just clear whatever content you can, do your bounties, get all the materials that you need in your cube, run puzzle rings as you find them, and get gems, keep your petrified screen keys so you can stack up on augment gems, and as you're finding ancient pieces, augment them immediately. Get your main stat up. The higher your main stat, the more damage you're doing, and the less damage that you're going to take. Regardless if that's an intel, dexterity, strength, no matter what class, it's going to reduce the damage you take, and increase the damage that you deal. Get to where you can run these 90s under 2 minutes, minute 30, a minute even with this build here. Definitely regularly clear level 90 rifts in under a minute, and that's significant.
The Rift God.
The more items that you get to drop, the more chances you're going to get at your primal items. I grab those bracers because my wraps of clarity are not
I may be
at
able to
50%.
help you.
They're at 49% shield whenever it procs. So.
I need to go
Third
back.
upgrade, hit my town portal, finish upgrading while I'm porting back to town.
I'm still waiting.
Well done.
Oh, one more thing. Alright, so on my skills, as you can see, we dropped the generator. We don't really need it for this build, so I'm not running Freeze and Strike, I'm not running Evasive Fire or any of that. So I'm going to Impale with the Ricochet rune, which that's our lightning element for this skill. Strafe, Drifting Shadows, it's just going to boost our movement speed a touch when we are strafing. Vengeance, Dark Heart, again for damage and damage reduction. Smokescreen, Displacement. If you use Displacement, it's going to increase your movement speed. Another option that you could use is Special Recipe. If you're having problems keeping your discipline up, Special Recipe decreases the cost of Smokescreen significantly. Using Preparation, Focus Mind, so to continually refill my discipline as we're going through the Rift. Shadow Power, Shadow Glide increases the movement speed. Hot Pursuit for movement speed. Tactical Advantage for movement speed. Blood Vengeance to refill your hatred. And it also gives you a little bit of discipline whenever you get a health globe. And if you're running these fast enough, you're going to get health globes all the time, all over the place. And then Coal of the Week, we could actually probably swap that out for Ambush, and I think it's going to give us a little bit more damage right off the, the first hit. We'll run with that.
Unleash.
Need more time. I'm still waiting.
Great challenge lies before us.
Need more time.
For this particular build, it is going to be a little bit important to make sure you're getting the health globes, even though your health may be completely full. Again, it's going to
Feel my
be
wrath.
rebuild, and it's also going to return 3 discipline per health globe, which doesn't seem significant, but so I just picked up 5 there. It's 15 discipline,
still waiting.
and you know that's 1 cast of smoke screen. Door here.
Need more time. Feel my wrath. Not ready yet. I am too low on discipline. I'm still waiting.
The Rift Guardian has
Never. You have triumphed.
Now the
Let's
reason
see the
I'm
gem.
not picking up all of those other items, for one, already have a significant amount of Forgotten Souls,
I need to go back.
so I don't really need the Forgotten Souls. There's not any items that were in that collection of drop
the ancient.
that I really need. So look here, 33k Forgotten Souls. It's not really something that I require at this point in the season, and I don't need this quiver, I don't need those. I do want to take a look at those, and I don't need that quiver. The jewelry I'll just have to take a look at. Basically that's the gist
Wanna
of
see
it.
what you'll get?
Opening up 90s, getting in, clearing them, getting out, and then getting right back into another 90. That
Need
is
more
how
time.
you're going to get primals, and I'm not the only YouTuber out there that is peddling
I
this
must heal.
advice. You could do it however you want, but if you want
Not ready yet.
the most largest amount of items that you can possibly find in a set amount of time, there isn't another method. You can
Need
run
more
bounties until you got 400, 500, 600 bounty mats of from every act,
Darkness awaits you.
and you can reforge in the cube.
Not ready yet.
Try to get your primals reforged. If that's something you want to do, it is a method. The amount of time
Still
that you're
waiting.
gonna spend running those bounties would be significant when you could
Darkness
be
awaits you.
using that time to double up on getting a bit of Paragon, maybe upgrading some other
Not ready
items.
yet.
The problem that I dislike about the bounty method and using Recipe 2 in your cube to hope that you can reforge a legendary
time.
item into
Feel
a
my
primal or a very well rolled ancient legendary is that the significant amount of time that you're going to spend in bounties, you're going to get
Still waiting.
0 XP. You might get a primal ring of Royal Grandeur or Skeleton
The
King
Rift
Pauldrons, which would
Need
do
more
very
time.
little for
Not enough discipline.
the vast majority
Never.
of the
You
build
have
that you're going to be trying to push with or to grind Paragon with. It's overall not going to be that helpful to you,
Hello.
in my opinion. Feel free, I mean, if that's what you want to do to ensure that you're going to get that GG Ancient Primal or that
I need to
GG
go back.
just Ancient Legendary item, it's totally up to you. But in my experience, the amount of bounties that you're going to have to run to do that, unless you're incredibly lucky, you're going to put a significant amount of
I'm still
time
waiting.
into running those. So in order to run GR90s that quickly, you're going to need a lot of keys. Again, this is another build, it's an unhollowed essence. Can I basically just run the 6-piece of unhollowed, or Zeshian arm guards, Chrome's belt. I'm using fire, so swap my items out for fire. Rachel's Ring of Larceny, Stone of Jordan. In the cube, I have, whoops, not the Pandemonium Loop, Pride's Fault, and Geom. And this is going to be perfectly fine
Are you strong? Not ready yet.
for doing Nephilim Rifts. Through. Make sure I'm getting my globes. Pushing through. I don't care about the map. This is obviously not a great map. For any build really. It's long, drawn out, got to cover a lot of ground. Typically don't get a great amount of density. I'm going to go back and get this pile on though. Just make it all that much faster.
Not ready yet.
Maybe a poor example of key farming, but again, it's part of it. You're going to run a lot of GR90s, get a lot of item drops. You're going to need a lot of keys, and the faster you can farm those keys, the more 90s you're going to be able to run, the more XP you'll get, the more Paragon you'll get, the more gear drops you'll get.
Need more time.
The
Do you want
higher
more?
the likelihood of finding that primal that you're looking for will be. Again,
Not ready yet.
you can make a whole nother video on whether the primals are worth it, whether they're not, you know, finding your ancient legendary items to get your build ready to start doing your push, or for farming Paragon, running those 125s, 130s. That's, you know, it's all going to be relevant.
The Rift Guardian.
If you wanted to use the same method, a little bit slower, you know, running 110s, 115s,
My package
you can certainly do that too, and you'll also be earning more XP. So a strategy I like to do is have a goal of what you want your Paragon to be by the end of the season, and just be continually going after that. So if you know that your build is capable of pushing a 140 or maybe even a 145 at 3,500 Paragon, and you're totally happy with, you know, clearing a 145, and that's your goal for the season, then do that. If not, if you think it could be higher, then just keep running the GRs.
Let's see what happens. Well, isn't that nice?
That is too expensive.
Spend my shards. And not what I'm looking for. And along the same lines of this build, here, your skills. Running multi-shot strafe. Multi-shot, you can run that with Arsenal or full broadside, either one's just fine. You're doing fire damage. And this looks a lot like your Lightning Impale, Vengeance, Smokescreen, Preparation, Shadow Power, and the passives are the same. If you want to farm higher stuff, this is my Fire Impale. Again, I'm using 5 pieces of the Shadow Impale set, 2 pieces of the Captain Crimson's, Wraps of Clarity. It's going to reduce my damage taken by 49% for 5 seconds every time I use a generator. Well, I'm switching back to Focus and Restraint, using Fire Skills, Fire Skills, Fire Skills. Carly's Point, it's going to be equipped. We got Zaystone of Vengeance, Bane of the Trapped, Taguk. It's going to help with damage and damage reduction. Mantle Channeling for damage and damage reduction. Dawn in the weapon slot. Ring of Royal Grandeur in the jewelry slot, my cube. Now, with this setup, well, let's just go for something that's going to be fairly quick. We're at a 115.
Need more time.
This should put us in the 2 minutes to 2:15 range in there.
I'm still waiting.
Sure, get these leads down.
I need more discipline. Weak. Not ready yet.
You can see, not using Pride's Ball, and I'm using a special recipe for my smoke screen. Still having quite a bit of issues keeping spamming smoke screen. No issues keeping vengeance.
Need more time.
Having Dawn is huge advantage. And Vengeance is such a critical part of a lot of Demon Hunter builds because it is going to reduce the amount of damage that you take.
Wrath.
It does increase the amount of damage that you deal, and having that Dawn reduce the cooldown by 65% means that we only have to achieve a cooldown reduction of 37% on our gear to keep Vengeance up 100% of the time. So it's a significant boost to our character's output without a significant cost in our gear. So instead of rolling cooldown on our gloves and our shoulders and our rings, you can opt for, you know, those damage stats on your rings. Maybe having an extra damage stat on your gloves, like adding area damage to your shoulders instead of cooldown reduction. So it kind of helps with that overall. And then
Just need more time.
see,
Raise your weapon.
with this version of the build, you're not getting a particularly large amount of movement speed, but it's still pretty quick because overall the build is powerful enough that you're going to be killing elite packs, you're going to be killing juggernauts super quick within a couple of hits. Grab your globes,
Need more time.
move along. So it's a very efficient farming build, especially for season 27.
The Rift Guardian is here.
Again, those of you that are new to playing Demon Hunter
Still
or
waiting.
you're just very interested in playing this version of the Impel build because of the season 27 theme with the Angelic Crucibles, you may not like this build very much. Non-seasonal, and you know, it is what it is. It's pretty slow. I mean, it does an okay amount of damage, but
I need to go
there's
back.
gonna be better builds, and there's certainly gonna be like faster ones, more efficient ones. Maybe you won't be able to push as high on the GR rankings.
Well
but
done.
My respects.
Not ready yet.
unfortunately, once season 27 is over, this build here is most likely going to be over as well, unless for whatever reason Blizzard decides to keep these crucible powers as some sort of system in the game. Anyway, if you like this sort of content, want to see more, unfortunately I didn't get a Primal to drop, but it's just a quick short tutorial. If I were to do those GR90s for, you know, maybe an hour, maybe less, then hopefully we could have got one to drop. But the name of the game, it's getting gear, getting items. The more items you get, the higher chance you get for them items to be a primal. If you made it this far through the video, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate any comments, suggestions, or recommendations that you guys might have in the comments. And hope to see you next time.